Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I am Tanvi Taneja. Coming up in the next hour. BJP-led National Democratic Alliance wins the world's largest elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails the people's verdict, calls the third consecutive term a historical feat. World leaders congratulate Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party on winning the 2024 general elections for the third time in a row. In a heated televised debate, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and opposition leader Keir Starmer go head-to-head on immigration and taxes. In a major announcement, US President Joe Biden imposes sweeping asylum ban at the US-Mexico border, but migrants continue their journey. And India up against Ireland in match 8 of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup at New York today. India have won against Ireland in the last 7 T20s. So in news just in, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is reaching President's house in New Delhi and is currently meeting the President over government formation. So this is the breaking news that we are tracking at this hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reached the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi and he is going to meet President Draupadi Murmu over government formation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi led NDA won in the recently concluded elections, and of course the talks will now be on the government formation. So the dissolution of the 17th Lok Sabha would be discussed with the President here, Prime Minister Modi meeting President Draupadi Murmu in New Delhi, and of course we have seen the several coalition partners of the NDA reaching New Delhi. We'll try and connect with our correspondent to tell us more about what is happening in New Delhi as several coalition partners of the NDA are extending their support to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP. It's a historic win for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the third consecutive time. And of course, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi also winning his constituency Varanasi for the third time in a row as well. And now we are joined by DD India's Dibendu Mondal from New Delhi. Dibendu, tell us the latest on the NDA government formation with the help of the BJP's allies.
To form a government along with its ally partners. The two major of them is of course the Janata Dal United and the TDP from Andhra Pradesh. They are the two big allies of the BJP. This is apart from the fact that LJP's Chirag Paswan is one of them, Karnataka's JDS, Jitan Ram Manjhi's HAM. So of course a lot of these junior parties will also be allying with the BJP and staking claim. The JDU have made it clear that they are going to support the BJP to form government. The TDP has also is of course going to also to share their support, letter of support to the BJP to stake claim to form the government. What I'm also given to understand is that the Prime Minister has gone to the Rashtrapati Bhavan to meet the Honorable President. The BJP will of course now stake claim to form the government for the third time ever. This is a remarkable feat in itself also because the fact that this is for the first time that an NDA government after completing 2 successful terms is coming back to power for a third term. This is unprecedented. Why? Because this has never happened ever since 1962 after Jawaharlal Nehru. So of course this is a moment for celebration for the NDA as well as for the BJP because they're going to get their Prime Minister for the third term. So of course a lot of permutation combination will be worked out with its allying partners, also because of the fact that the decision making will not, from this time around, the decision making will not only rely at the BJP headquarters, it will also have to take its allies into confidence for any decision that will be taken. The allies will also have to be accommodated in the cabinet, which will also be discussed during the cabinet expansion and during the cabinet portfolio distribution. The NDA is likely to meet this evening. The NDA alliance partners have already flown down to Delhi. They are scheduled to meet with the Prime Minister as well as the other BJP leaders, including the Home Minister as well as the cabinet by this evening. So of course a lot of political developments expected to happen from today evening onwards. We'll of course keep an eye on it. Back to you, Tanvi.
Okay, Dibyendu, do you see the government formation by the BJP and its allies as a smooth and quick affair?
Well, Tanvi, there is no doubt now for a fact that the BJP government is coming back to power. Well, whether it will be quick or whether it will take some more time is, of course, we'll get to have a better, clear picture after the NDA meeting is concluded this evening, because, as I said, the NDA alliance partners will have to be taken into confidence and taken into consideration. There will be long deliberations and discussions on the distribution of the cabinet portfolio. There will also be discussion on the chair of the speaker, who will get the speaker's position, because what we pick up from our sources is that the alliance partners will of course demand a larger share in the cabinet. They will also be demanding the speaker's position, but it is the BJP that will of course, because it's the single largest party, they will have the final say, and they will decide after that. But it doesn't seem to be much of a difficulty in terms of having the BJP government. It seems that everything is sailing very, very smoothly. Both the TDP as well as the JDU. KC Tyagi has also given a press bite saying that there is no question of the JDU supporting the India alliance, and the JDUs was in a pre-poll alliance with the NDA, with the BJP. They will be within the NDA fold. They will be supporting the BJP to form the governments. Of course, there leaves very little chance for any question mark at the moment. So of course we see, I think it will be more of a smooth process in the coming days.
And Dibyendu, here in India, we're all curious. Do we have any information about the date of the swearing in of Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Well, Tanvi, no, not at the moment, because it is on the after the NDA meeting, which is this evening. And also remember, in a democratically in parliamentary democracy, it is the leader of all the leader of the majority party that elects the leader as the Prime Minister. So what I also get to hear from my sources in the BJP is that the meeting of all the elected MPs of the NDA has been called for the 7th of June. So it is of course going to happen after the 7th of June, after the meeting of all the elected member of parliament of the NDA parties, which is scheduled for the 7th in the parliament building. So we'll have to wait till about 8th or 9th before the swearing in ceremony do take place. But yes, all preparations, I'm also given to understand that all preparations are being taken up by the Rashtrapati Bhavan for the swearing in ceremony, and of course it will be at the Rashtrapati Bhavan forecourt as we witnessed in 2014 and 19. Back to you.
Yes, Dibyendu, and finally talking of the opposition, the India Alliance meeting is also scheduled to be held in New Delhi this evening. What is likely to be on their agenda?
Well, Tanvi, you know, the India Alliance's meeting in the capital is of course also significant because of the fact that they will of course, before I say that, Tanvi, but we have to make it very clear of the fact that, you know, they are not in a position to stake claim, because there is too much permutation combination that would be required for them to stake claim to form government. So there is no question on that. But perhaps what they would be meeting is to show support for each other. It will perhaps be a congratulatory and a celebratory meeting amongst the India Alliance because of the fact that they also did not expect that they could come up to the number of 200 plus this time around. But you know, today's meeting will of course be on the future course of action of the India Alliance. and also how all these parties can work together on a common minimum program, which perhaps could be decided in the coming days. What I also understand is that they worked on a common minimum program pre-poll, but I'm sure they will work out a new common minimum program after this alliance solidified after the election results. Of course, they will be together. They will show some solidarity. They will also assess where perhaps they went wrong and where perhaps they could further improve in the coming elections. Given the fact that, remember, Maharashtra and Haryana will go to polls later this year, two crucial states which are currently with the BJP. So, of course, they will also be chalking out strategies for that and how more strongly they can solidify their alliance. This could be perhaps their agendas for the India Alliance's meeting scheduled also today in the capital.
Yeah, a lot of action thus expected in the powerful corridors of New Delhi. Thank you very much, Devendra Mondal, for joining us and filling us in with the details and what is going to happen this evening. After a long drawn process, the election results for all the 543 seats were announced by the Election Commission of India, with the BJP securing 240 seats out of 543. The party's vote share stands at 36.56%, while the Indian National Congress, that backed 99 seats, got 21.19% of the vote share. Samajwadi Party got 37 seats, keeping its vote share to 4.58%. All India Trinamool Congress, or AITC, secured 29 seats and got 4.37% of the vote share. And the DMK got 22 seats, receiving 1.82% of the vote share. The Bharatiya Janata Party-led National Democratic Alliance, or the NDA, is ready to serve the nation for the third consecutive term with a historic win in the general elections. BJP-led NDA won 292 seats, while the India Alliance got 233 seats. 18 seats went to independents. A party or a coalition needs at least 272 of the 543 seats to be in power at the centre. Counting of votes was held on Tuesday for 542 seats, while the BJP had already won the Surat constituency of Gujarat unopposed. So after achieving a resounding victory in the general election, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed confidence that the NDA will form the government for a third consecutive term and said that it will take big decisions in the third term while striking hard against corruption. He was addressing his party workers at the BJP headquarters in New Delhi.
डिजिटल इंडिया और टेक्नोलॉजी ने करप्शन के अनेक रास्ते बंद किए हैं, लेकिन ये भी सच है कि करप्शन के खिलाफ लड़ाई दिनों दिन कठिन हो रही है। राजनीतिक स्वार्थ के लिए जब करप्शन का महिमा मंडन शुरू हो जाए और इसमें निर्लज्जता की सारी हदें पार हो जाए, तब करप्शन को बहुत ताकत मिल जाती है। इसलिए तीसरे कार्यकाल में एनडीए सरकार का बहुत ज्यादा जोर हर तरह के करप्शन को जड़ से उखाड़ फेंकने का होगा।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also thanked his fellow countrymen and the Election Commission of India for their successful elections in the world's largest democracy. While thanking the BJP workers for their sweat, toil and hard work, the Prime Minister said this inspires him to work for the country and many big decisions will be taken in the third term, he said.
मैं देश के कोने कोने में उपस्थित बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ताओं को कहूंगा, आपकी मेहनत मोदी को निरंतर काम करने की प्रेरणा देता है। हम भारतीय मिलकर चलेंगे, देश को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। तीसरे कार्यकाल में देश बड़े फैसलों का एक नया अध्याय लिखेगा और ये मोदी की गारंटी है।
You are with us on DD India News Hour. Still to come on the show. A significant victory for the Telugu Desam party led by Chandrababu Naidu in the southern India's Andhra Pradesh. A tidal change unseen for years in India's Odisha too. BJD's Naveen Patnaik resigns as Chief Minister after the BJP emerged victorious in the Assembly elections. South Korea would increase development aid for Africa to $10 billion over the next 6 years. Several agreements signed between Seoul and the African nations. Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I am Tanvi Taneja. In southern India's Andhra Pradesh, the Telugu Desam party TDP led by Chandrababu Naidu achieved a decisive victory on Tuesday in the state assembly elections held concurrently with India's parliamentary elections. Naidu is hence poised to become the state chief minister for the fourth time. A report.
Celebrations began at Telugu Desam Party offices across Andhra Pradesh on Tuesday as the party chief Chandrababu Naidu is well set to make a comeback as the chief minister. The party has contested polls in alliance with Janasena and Bharatiya Janata Party. The TDP-led coalition surpassed 150 seats in 175 assembly constituencies. With a commanding lead at over 130 assembly constituencies, the TDP is poised to form the government.
It's a landslide victory for the Telugu people and also our party in Andhra Pradesh. The people has given one-sided victory to the Telugu Desam and has given a mandate against the unruly mob and unruly destruction made by Jagan Mohan Reddy.
Party announced that Naidu will take oath as the chief minister on June 9. Additionally, the TDP allies, the Janasena party led by actor-politician Pawan Kalyan got 21 seats in their kitty, with the BJP gaining victory in 8 seats. Incumbent YSR Congress party could only manage to reach 10 seats. Andhra Pradesh went to polls to elect the 175-member state assembly besides 25 Lok Sabha seats in the general elections in a single phase on May 13th. Bureau Report, DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanked the people of Andhra Pradesh for the exceptional mandate given to the National Democratic Alliance. PM Modi also congratulated Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan Garu for the victory. Taking to social media platform X, Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrote, Andhra Pradesh has given an exceptional mandate to the NDA. I thank the people of the state for their blessings. I congratulate N. Chandrababu Naidu, Pawan Kalyan Garu and the workers of the Telugu Desam Party, Janasena Party and BJP Andhra for this emphatic victory. We will work for the all-round progress of Andhra Pradesh and ensure that the state prospers in the times to come. Meanwhile, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy sent his resignation letter to Andhra Pradesh Governor Justice S. Abdul Nazir on Tuesday night. The governor swiftly accepted the resignation and advised Jagan Mohan Reddy to continue in office till the formation of the next government. And now let's connect with DD India's Aisha Khanam, who is joining us from Bengaluru to understand this victory for the TDP. Aisha, what accounts for the resounding victory of the TDP in both the general and the assembly elections?
Well, it is a historic win for TDP, and as there was an anti-incumbency, and this anti-incumbency was not just a simple factor, but it was a very strong and huge factor which the people of Andhra Pradesh resisted at the government led by YSRCP and the Jagan Mohan and the Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy. So this went against the state government led by YSRCP party. And on the other hand, Chandrababu Naidu and alliance with the Janasena party along with the BJP formed a very strong alliance, and this was this was giving confidence to the cadres and also the people of Andhra Pradesh that the state, which is the youngest state and which has just completed 10 years on June 2nd, after it was formed, after it was carved out of United Andhra Pradesh as Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So this is one of the youngest states. So people of Andhra Pradesh are looking forward to development, which stopped during the YSRCP rule. And Andhra Pradesh TDP leader Chandrababu Naidu is known for his leadership. He is the one who had carved, Hyderabad as a cyber city. He is known for his administrative skills. So Chandrababu Naidu, during his campaign, along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with the vision of a developed Andhra Pradesh and with his ally, Janasena Party Chief Pawan Kalyan, it was very easy for Chandrababu Naidu, to pull over this strong victory in Andhra Pradesh. So right now he is headed to be the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh for the second time, and all preparations are on ground at Amravati. Remember, Amravati was the capital chosen by Chandrababu Naidu when he took over as the first Chief Minister when the state was formed. So right now, Chandrababu Naidu will look forward to develop Amravati, whereas the previous Chief Minister of this state was looking at 4 different capitals. He was looking at one economic capital, one judicial capital, one executive capital, and one more Guntur city as a capital. So he was looking at 4 different cities as capitals, so which sounded very weird to the people of Andhra Pradesh. So for Chandrababu Naidu, this is the first challenge, that he will develop Amravati as a capital city of Andhra Pradesh, and this is a huge task before him because he had left several incomplete projects as a Chief Minister, and he had lost to YSRCP. So therefore, it is back to track for development in Andhra Pradesh, and Chandrababu Naidu, along with his ally Pawan Kalyan, will look forward to form this government in Andhra Pradesh. Whereas Chandrababu Naidu has emerged as a kingmaker at the national level, and he has left for New Delhi. He will be participating in the meeting, though he has clearly stated that he will be part of the NDA, which will elect Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister for 3rd consecutive term. But he is still playing, his cards close to his heart, because he is in a commanding position. He is in a position to bargain for better cabinet berths for his for his colleagues at the national level. Remember, he has won 16 seats and 2 from Janasena. So therefore, he is demanding that at least 5 cabinet berths should be given to his, and therefore he is in a very commanding position, and indeed he has emerged as a kingmaker once again.
Yes, and a lot rests on the meetings that are going to happen very soon in New Delhi. Thank you, Aisha Khanam, for joining us in India News Hour. And talking of Odisha now, in Odisha's assembly election, the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, crossed the halfway mark, leading to a tidal change unseen for years. With the staggering numbers and a shift in the power tide, the Biju Janata Dal, BJD, faces a daunting ride and shrinks down to 49 from 113 seats.
The Bharatiya Janata Party is poised to become the largest party in Odisha's assembly elections, signalling a significant shift in the state's political landscape. The result indicates that the BJP is set to secure a majority in the state assembly, ousting the ruling Biju Janata Dal and potentially altering the leadership in the state after nearly a quarter century.
उड़ीसा में लोग ये जो सरकार यहाँ चल रहा है इससे त्रस्त थे, इससे मुक्ति पाना चाहते थे, और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता जी जान लगा के उड़ीसा में काम किए हैं। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का उड़ीसा आना, हर एरिया को दौरा करना आज ये रंग लाने की स्थिति में आके पहुंचा हुआ है।
BJP has crossed the halfway mark in Odisha. The Biju Janata Dal is at 49 seats, down from 113. Congress leads over a dozen seats. Odisha has in total 147 assembly constituencies. The potential shift in power holds profound implications, particularly for Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, who has held office since 2000.
So as the BJP won 48 seats and is in the 147-seat assembly constituency in India's Odisha, Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanked the people of the state. He wrote on social media platform X, and I quote, "Thank you, Odisha. It's a resounding victory for good governance and celebrating Odisha's unique culture. BJP will leave no stone unturned in fulfilling the dreams of people and taking Odisha to new heights of progress." PM Modi also wrote, "I'm very proud of all our hardworking party karyakartas for their efforts." Now, Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik met Governor of Odisha at the Raj Bhavan in Bhubaneswar and tendered his resignation after the BJD lost majority in the assembly polls. And now we take a look at other stories making news around the world. The Colombian military rescued 4 people after a boat capsized accident 5 nautical miles from Puerto Velero. After medical checkups, the passengers were deemed fit and sent back to the Puerto Velero marina to reunite with their families. Protesting against dollar shortages and fuel scarcity, truck drivers in Bolivia blocked the El Alto highway. The blockade was cleared by police intervention and the government has dismissed the protest as unwarranted. 70-year-old pop icon and activist Cyndi Lauper was honoured with hands and feet cement outside Hollywood's famous TCL Chinese Theatre. Calling it a surreal experience, Lauper thanked her fans for the honour. Facing a rising wheat import bill, the Egyptian government increased the price of subsidized small loaves of flatbread for the first time in decades by $0.0042 per loaf. The rise will impact the lives of about 106 million people already hit by widespread poverty. On to Seoul now. 47 agreements with 23 African countries were signed between South Korea and African nations at a business summit in Seoul on Wednesday. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol pledged on that South Korea would increase development aid for Africa to $10 billion over the next 6 years and will offer $14 billion in export financing to promote trade and investment for South Korean companies in Africa. Still to come on DD India News Hour. India's Sensex and Nifty recover after yesterday's near 6% slump. FMCG IT stocks lead gains on Wednesday. US House of Representatives passes bill to sanction International Criminal Court over its decision to seek arrest warrants for Israeli officials on the Gaza conflict. And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi initiates a campaign to grow more plants on World Environment Day today.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Tanvi Taneja. A quick look at the headlines we are tracking at this hour. BJP-led National Democratic Alliance wins the world's largest elections. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails the people's verdict, calls the third consecutive term a historical feat. World leaders congratulate Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party on winning the 2024 general elections for the third time in a row. And India up against Ireland in match 8 of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024 at New York today. India have won against Ireland in the last 7 T20s. And in news, Justin, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, called on President Draupadi Murmu and at Rashtrapati Bhavan. This is what the President's House of India, Rashtrapati Bhavan, has tweeted. And it went on further to say that the Prime Minister tendered his resignation along with the Union Council of Ministers. And the President accepted the resignation and requested the Prime Minister and the Union Council of Ministers. This is the latest news that we are tracking on DD India. And for more on this, we are joined by our correspondent Dibendu Mondal. Dibendu, what is the latest that you are tracking from Rashtrapati Bhavan?
Well, Tanvi, this is a very formal process in which after a new government is elected to power, the Prime Minister along with his Council of Ministers have to submit their resignation for a new government to take power. So, of course, this is a very natural constitutional process where the Prime Minister has gone after holding the cabinet meeting this morning. The cabinet decided to dissolve the 17th Lok Sabha. A letter of that support was taken to the President's House along with the resignation letter of the Prime Minister. Remember, the Union Council of Ministers swim and sinks together with the Prime Minister. So the resignation of the Prime Minister automatically dissolves this Council of Ministers. So the resignation of the Prime Minister to the President is, of course, it's a very constitutional process for the new government that is elected to power, which is the NDA government, to stake claim. Now, what follows from here is, of course, the President requesting Prime Minister and the present sitting government, in this case, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Council of Ministers, to take care of the country, which is in this term, it becomes the caretaker government till a new government is sworn in. So this is the constitutional process. But what happens now is, of course, interesting because the NDA will hold its meeting this evening at in the national capital. All the NDA leaders are in Delhi. All the NDA partners have come to Delhi. They will be meeting. They will be deciding on the common minimum program, the agendas, a blueprint of how the next 5 years of the NDA government will work out, will be crafted and will be deliberated, discussed among the NDA leaders. Perhaps a common minimum program could also take shape in the coming days. And after which, after all the NDA partners hands over this letter of support to the Prime Minister will go. In fact, the largest party, in this case, the BJP, will go along with its leaders to the President's house to stake claim to form the new government. And of course, this will take some time, but what I see is that it won't take very long. But within this week, over the next couple of days, and by the end of this week, we could see the new government solidifying. So, of course, within the next, possibly by tomorrow or day after, we can see the BJP going to the president to stake claim. They will also announce the oath-taking ceremony of the new Prime Minister. And in this case, it is possibly the Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be taking oath for the third time. And the dates will soon be announced by the party that won. Back to you, Tanvi.
Okay. Very quickly, Dibendu, a farewell dinner is also on the cards. Do we have any information on that?
Well, yes, of course, all the sitting union ministers will gather along with the NDA partners. They will be, after the discussion is held at what we're given to understand, it will either be at JP Nadda's residence, most probably at the BJP president's national president's residence. So there will be a farewell dinner as well as a dinner hosted for the NDA leaders. Of course, that's on the cards as well, but that will happen after the deliberation and discussions with the NDA leaders are done with.
And very quickly, Dibendu, the next government formation now seems like a smooth and quick affair in your view?
Yes, of course, Tanvi. There is no doubt of the fact that there is going to be the NDA government that is going to come to power. It is just a matter of time. It's just a bit of negotiations that will happen with the NDA partners. And I personally don't see, what I've been talking to my sources within the BJP, I don't see any possible hiccups in the formation of the NDA government in the very next possible few days. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Devendra Mondal tracking the breaking news of what's going to happen in a few hours from now, and of course Prime Minister Narendra Modi tendering his resignation to the President of the country. Now, more than wins or losses, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the second longest since 1951-52, were nothing short of extraordinary. Beating severe heat, 642 million registered voters went out to cast their votes, setting a world record. Also, a record-breaking 312 million women also participated in the voting process in the 7-phase elections this time. Free and fair elections like these instill the voters' faith in a democracy.
The 18th Indian general elections have been historic in more ways than one. These elections presented a mammoth challenge for the Election Commission of India. These were the largest elections in modern history. The task was to ensure that more than 968 million voters out of a population of over 1.4 billion people who were eligible to vote could exercise their right in a free and fair manner. The ECI made sure to leave no voter behind with its various voter awareness campaigns. Chief Election Commissioner of India Rajiv Kumar also remarked how India created a world record this time with over 642 million voters, including more than 31 crore women turning up and participating in India's Lok Sabha elections this year.
We have created a world record of 642 million proud Indian voters. This is 1.5 times of the voters of all G7 countries. There are 312 million proud women voters. This is also the highest ever in the world.
The ECI arduously planned for a detailed 7-phased election in India. Over 68,000 monitoring teams and 15 million polling booths and over 3 million security personnel were involved in the electoral exercise in these elections. The Election Commission of India faced numerous logistical challenges in terms of ensuring free and fair elections in the country. The challenges were also about fighting various elements like violence, cyber attacks, heat wave, and monitoring fake news and deep fakes. The ECI constantly faced political allegations over fairness of the electoral process. However, it maintained its calm and replied to all of them satisfactorily. The results on June 4th have strengthened the trust of people on the Election Commission of India and the electronic voting machines. Apart from holding free and fair elections, the poll body made every voter realize the power of their vote. These elections proved how a country like India, with almost 1 billion voters, can successfully hold the largest election in the world. Once again, the ECI has conducted successful elections and declared the results without any glitch. Antra Sinha for DD India.
Now, world leaders congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party on winning the 2024 general elections for the third time in a row. Maldives President wrote on Twitter, that's X, congratulations Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP-led NDA on the success in the 2024 Indian general election for the third consecutive time. I look forward to working together to advance our shared interests in pursuit of shared prosperity and stability for our two countries, wrote the President of Maldives, Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe also congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi and expressed the desire to work closely with him. Nepal's Prime Minister Prachanda congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the electoral success of his party-led alliance. He expressed happiness over the completion of the world's largest democratic exercise. Bhutan's Prime Minister Shering Tobgay also congratulated Modi and the NDA for the historic third consecutive win. He expressed eagerness to work closely to further strengthen the relation between the two countries. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni also congratulated Prime Minister Narendra Modi for winning a third term in office. She expressed her commitment to work closely with the Indian government to strengthen the relationship between India and Italy. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also extended his warmest wishes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on being re-elected for a third consecutive term. He expressed hope that the friendship between India and Israel will continue to surge towards new heights. Indian benchmark indices recovered on Wednesday after witnessing its biggest fall in 4 years on Tuesday. Wednesday's session opened on a positive note after the BJP-led NDA secured a majority in Tuesday's general election results. The Sensex at the BSE climbed 1,792 points to 2.5% to 73,858 a short while ago. The Nifty was up by 565 points to 2.6% at 22,450. Most sectoral indices were trading in the green, with the FMCG, auto, pharma, healthcare and IT sectors leading the pack in gains. And for more on the performance of the Indian stock markets, we have our correspondent Shama Mishra joining us from Mumbai. Shama, after a huge fall following the poll results yesterday, the stock markets have made fairly good gains today. What explains the gains?
We all understood the fact that markets were really expecting one tune, and that was of stability, that was of continuity. And yesterday the markets realized that there could be some danger as and when the trends started emerging and as and when the results started coming in. We did see a very strong rally from both Sensex and Nifty on the exit polls day, and we also understood that it was the next 5 years that market was expecting that there will be more reforms, there will be more developmental in policies. Yesterday, when the results started coming in, the simple majority that the BJP was unable to get, as we compare it to the 2019 results, that really, shook the market, and market really took that as a bad hit. But by yesterday evening, when Narendra Modi and the entire BJP celebrated that success and ensured the people of the country that there will be third consecutive time when their NDA government will form the government, and he will keep continuing the reforms, and there will be more thrust on the developmental agenda, be it the economical reforms or for the people of the country. This was seen as a very good signal, as a very positive signal by the markets, and today we are seeing that all the sectoral indices are trading in green, and if we are talking about Sensex and Nifty, both are trading in green. Sensex is up 2,000 points, and same as with the Nifty, it's more than 600-700 points up. So that explains that yesterday market was out of that euphoria which it saw in the exit poll results, and today markets have seen the correction, and markets have realized the reality that there will be a third consecutive term, and there will be stability, there will be continuity in the policies and the reforms, and the next 5 years will have more agendas of development which will make India a better developmental and a better infrastructure investment hotspot for the rest of the world.
Okay, thank you. Shama Mishra joining us from Mumbai. Still to come on DD India News Hour. India will launch their T20 World Cup campaign against Ireland today at New York. Defending champion Novak Djokovic withdraws from the ongoing French Open. And French tire company Michelin has published a series of guidebooks offering ways to explore Hanoi.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.
Thank you for staying with us. You're watching DD India News. I am Tanvi Taneja. US President Joe Biden announced new restrictions on Tuesday to deny the chance to claim asylum to migrants caught illegally crossing the US-Mexico border who could be quickly deported or turned back to Mexico. The new measures will take effect immediately and will have exceptions for unaccompanied children, people who face serious medical or safety threats, and victims of trafficking. Biden, a Democrat, has toughened his approach to border security as immigration has emerged as a top issue for Americans in the run-up to the November 5 elections, where he will face Republican Donald Trump, who has vowed a wide-ranging crackdown on migration if re-elected. Meanwhile, the Republican-led US House of Representatives passed a legislation that would impose sanctions on the International Criminal Court over its prosecutor's decision to seek arrest warrants for Israeli officials on the Gaza conflict. The vote was 247 to 155, with 42 Democrats joining Republicans in backing the measure. The legislation would impose sanctions on people involved in ICC prosecutions of Americans or citizens of US allies that are not ICC members, including Israel. The legislation would impose sanctions on people involved in ICC prosecutions of Americans or citizens that are not ICC members. It would also block such ICC officials' entry to the United States, revoke any US visas, and restrict them from US property transactions. The White House last month criticized the ICC's decision to seek the warrants. On to the UK now. In a first debate just weeks before a general election, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Labour challenger Keir Starmer went head-to-head over how to boost Britain's economy, with the Prime Minister accusing the opposition party of wanting to increase taxes if it wins power at a July 4th election. Both Sunak and Starmer stuck to their campaign lines in their first debate. Opinion polls have suggested that Labour is set to win the elections, with Sunak saying only he had a plan to spur the Britain's paltry economic growth, and Starmer portraying the Conservatives as presiding over 14 years of economic chaos. In a heated debate, a recent feature in Britain and one which sees more voters tune into politics, the two leaders battled over how to tackle the cost of living crisis, growing waiting lists in the public health service, and reducing immigration. Now, June 5th is celebrated globally as World Environment Day. The day encourages awareness and action for the protection of the environment. To mark the occasion, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi planted a sapling, initiating the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, that is one tree in the name of Mother, campaign at the Buddha Jayanti Park in New Delhi. It is a one-of-its-kind mass movement to plant crores of trees across the country. And the northeast Indian state of Assam continues to grapple with severe floods, which has raised the death toll up to 25. Last week, cyclone Remal that made landfall in neighbouring state of West Bengal brought intense rainfall in Assam, leading to widespread flooding. On Tuesday, the Assam State Disaster Management Authority reported that over 400,000 people across 10 districts had been affected by flooding, while 459 villages remained underwater. Water levels of Brahmaputra, Kopili and Kushiara rivers have also risen above the danger mark. Rescue operations are being carried out and 42 medical teams have been deployed. Southern Germany, close to the Austrian border, declared a state of emergency. As a precaution measure to prevent damages in the town, water levels in the Danube River have reached 10 meters following days of floods in the region. Heavy rainfall forced thousands to leave their homes, with a firefighter dying while trying to rescue trapped residents, and 2 more people found dead on Monday. And next we take a look at other stories making news in India. The State Disaster Response Force team on Wednesday rescued 6 trekkers who were trapped on the Sahastra Tal trek route in the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand. The trekkers were taken to the hospital for a medical checkup and were provided with first aid. Fire erupted in the I-7 Chaudhary Eye Centre in the capital city New Delhi's Lajpat Nagar area on Wednesday. 16 fire tenders arrived at the spot. The firefighting operation is underway. No injuries or casualties have been reported so far. Fire engulfed the forests of Naushera in the Rajouri district of northern India's Jammu and Kashmir on Wednesday as the region experiences temperature rise and heat waves. The Forest Department and locals are at work to douse the flames. Parts of the national capital, New Delhi, are facing a water crisis amid the ongoing heat wave. People in Jaunpur's Bhim Basti area and Chanakyapuri's Sanjay Camp area are calling in private water tankers to meet their water requirements. And time now for some sporting action. India will launch their T20 World Cup campaign against Ireland at the newly built Nassau County Cricket Stadium in New York today. As the 2007 T20 champions, they aim for a strong start and secure 2 points up ahead. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya has more.
The Indian cricket team is all set to kick off their T20 World Cup campaign against Ireland. Both teams have played just one warm-up game each. India secured a convincing win over Bangladesh while Ireland faced defeat at the hands of Sri Lanka. Rohit Sharma's Team India aims to start strong while Ireland hopes to prove their mettle, having recently beaten Pakistan in a T20 international match.
You just have to play good cricket, as simple as that. We're not going to look into too much about what oppositions we are playing. It's for us, what is important is what we want to do as a team and do that well, whether it is batting, bowling and fielding.
Ireland has immersed itself in T20 actions over the past month in preparation for this competition.
For us, we don't need to spend mental energy on that, rather spend our mental energy on having clear plans, doing our preparation work and making sure that everyone's aware of how that could impact the game.
A key point of difference is India's bowling attack. If Jasprit Bumrah performs to his usual standards, Ireland's batter will face a tough challenge. Ireland, meanwhile, has been dealt a challenging opening fixture, but their recent win over Pakistan gives them hope. In the 7 India vs Ireland head-to-head meetings in T20 International, India holds a clear advantage, having won all the 7 fixtures against Ireland.
With a formidable lineup, India aims to start their T20 World Cup campaign on a high note, whereas Ireland will like to make the most of their chance against Men in Blue. With Cow person S. Jaishankar, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from New York.
And on to tennis now. Defending champion Novak Djokovic withdrew from the ongoing French Open on Tuesday ahead of his quarterfinal match against Casper Ruud due to a right knee injury. World number 1 and 24-time Grand Slam champion Djokovic was due to play Ruud on Wednesday for a place in the last 4. Djokovic defeated Ruud in last year's final at Roland Garros. The 37-year-old had cast doubt over his fitness following Monday's 5-set win over Francisco Cerundolo, admitting that he needed anti-inflammatory drugs to get through the match. He also blamed the slippery Philippe Chatrier court for the injury he sustained early in the second set of the victory over Cerundolo. French tire company Michelin has published a series of guidebooks offering ways to explore Hanoi, the capital city of Vietnam, in 48 hours. The guide suggests ideas about exploring traditions and history of the area, the picturesque French Quarter, trying local foods as well as immersing oneself in the world-class cuisine, charming parks and captivating historical sites. So that's it in this edition of DD India News Hour. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can download our DD India mobile app for quick news and updates on the go. So we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.